let's say you're on a project where the client wants the nuke density tests at the end of each day. It's actually really easy to make a report and send it to the client from Metafield. So I've shown you the one way how to do this, where you've just saved a nuke density test, and then you have the option to make reports for the tests that you took that particular day. So if for some reason you realized that you had left off a nuke density test that you'd taken a previous day, or say the client wants these every 2 days and you need to be able to send multiple days worth of tests, then you would want to go this route to get there. So you would come to the home area of Field and you'll go to Field Reports. And now you can also view reports that have already been made here. If you want to hit View Existing Reports, then you can see these reports that have already been made. And if you wanted to open them up and look at them, you can. These are your typical filters up here by technician, report type, and report date. So this is what you can see if you're interested in seeing what the old reports have to say. But so now we're creating a report, so we hit Create Report. And it wants to know what report type we're dealing with. We're dealing with density testing. And are we dealing with soil or asphalt? In this case, we're going to do soil. And so now it is project and technician specific. So if Bob is on the same project with me, I cannot add his nuke density tests to my report. So if there are 2 of you on the site, you'll each have to do your own reports. You can filter by the start date and the end date. So I'm going to go back a ways, and when you click on the calendar, I'll show you that again. If you're in start date, and you click on the little calendar icon, the blue squares are the days that you performed a soil nuke density test. So that if you're trying to remember, oh, when was the last time I ran a nuke density test out here? This is it, the 14th. So I'm going to choose the 14th. Up until today, and it's best just to choose all of the test statuses. So you'll check mark complete, pending, analyzed, and review. And then you'll hit Create Report. So now, by choosing all of those statuses, it just gives you the option to include all of those tests. It doesn't mean that they have to be included. So we've got test number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got one from 9/14 and the ones from 9/19. So if you didn't want to include a test, you would just tap on it, or in my case I'm clicking, and now it's unchecked. Checked, unchecked. So I don't have to include every single test on here, but really if you've saved it in Metafield, you should be including every single test. It's just a matter of if you're repeating a test that you've already sent in a report. So we'll just leave everything checked. And then you come down to the bottom of the page and you hit Next. So the description is automatic, and it starts with the project name, which this is the training project, so it's training. And the title of the report is Soil Nuke Density Test Worksheet, and it gives the date range of all the tests. So there was a test from 9/14 up till 9/19. So this is automatic, you don't need to change anything here. The report note, unless your client asks for something specific here, you really don't need to enter anything. Just leave this part blank. The report label, you do need to choose, and so that would be, in this case, nuke density soil. If you have asphalt, that option's right above it, and you would choose nuke density asphalt. But this is nuke density soil, so I've tapped or clicked that, and now I'll tap elsewhere on the screen. Just choose a blank spot, like over here where there's nothing, and just tap it. And now the report label shows up. This Ashburn, the office, this just means that it came from GeoConcepts. Some companies have multiple offices, and so they would choose, oh, there's the Ashburn office and there's the Chantilly office. This should always be Ashburn. It should always populate automatically for you. You shouldn't need to change anything here. Now, the whole point of this is to send it as an email, so you would check Send Email. Now in this case, I've signed in as this technician. So it's showing it's coming from him, and I've set it up to be sent to me, pretending that I'm the client. So in this instance, I know this is, a GeoConcepts email. We're going to pretend that this is the client that we're sending it to. So the project manager has the option to set things up so that this will populate automatically like this just did. Because when I checked send email, my name was already here. If the project manager has not done this, it will be blank like that. And all you need to do is type in the person's email address. But then you should also send a separate email or text or whatever to the project manager saying, hey, I need to send these nuke density tests to this person. Please set it up. And then they should set it up. This next box is a message. It's required because it has this little star over here. But you don't need anything fancy here. Just say see attached, because everything that you need to say should already be in the test records. So just say see attached, just something simple. If you want to receive an email copy of the report, then you can leave this checked as copy me. If you don't want a copy of the report emailed to you, you can uncheck it. So I'm going to leave it checked. And if you're interested in seeing what the report will look like before you send it, you just hit preview. And it's opened up a PDF for me over here. I open it up, and this is what the report looks like for the client. So it has our tests, it has the proctor that we used, the soil, the optimum moisture, dry density, test results, all this good information that we've had on our Excel sheets is right here. So I'm going to get away from that. And so now I'm ready to send it. So I will just say submit. Sometimes it may take a minute depending on your connection. And now it tells me the report was saved successfully. And so that email has now been sent to the client. If you wanted to take a look at it, for whatever reason, if you forgot to look at it in the preview, you can always see it again in the View Existing Reports. And so that was my third report that I had made today. But here's the description with the project name, soil nuke density test worksheet, and the date of the tests that are in the report. And so that is how to make a nuke density report to send to the client.